Imagine you're standing at a crossroads, choosing between two paths. You believe you're making a free choice, but is that really the case? Philosophers and scientists have debated this question for centuries. Today, we'll explore determinism and free will, two opposing theories about how much control we have over our lives. Determinism argues that every event in the universe, including human decisions, is caused by prior events according to the laws of nature. Think of a line of dominoes. Once the first domino falls, every other one topples in a predictable sequence. Determinists believe that, like those dominoes, our actions are the result of complex chains of cause and effect. Your genetics, upbringing, environment, and even the laws of physics shape your thoughts and behavior. From this perspective, free will is an illusion. You may feel like you're choosing, but every decision you make is the inevitable result of everything that came before it. This idea isn't just philosophical, it has support from modern science. Neuroscientific experiments, such as those conducted by Benjamin Libet, suggest that decisions are made in the brain before we become consciously aware of them. In his studies, participants were asked to press a button at any time they felt like it. Brain activity showed that their decision to press the button was already underway several milliseconds before they were aware of making the choice. This has led some scientists to conclude that our conscious mind is not in control, but merely observing decisions made by unconscious processes. However, not everyone agrees with this interpretation. Many philosophers and researchers argue that these findings don't fully negate free will. They point out that even if unconscious processes influence decisions, we can still reflect, deliberate, and exercise self-control over time. This ability to pause, evaluate our options, and act based on reason forms the foundation of many free will theories. Free will advocates believe that, despite the influence of external factors, we still have the power to choose our actions. They argue that we can shape our behavior through personal growth, habit formation, and reflection. Think about moments when you've resisted temptation. Maybe you wanted to procrastinate but decided to focus and get work done instead. These moments suggest that, while not unlimited, we do have some control over our impulses and decisions. To illustrate the debate, consider a scenario where someone commits a crime. A determinist might say that the person's actions were shaped by their environment, brain chemistry, and circumstances, making punishment less about blame and more about prevention or rehabilitation. On the other hand, supporters of free will argue that individuals are responsible for their actions because they can make moral choices, even under difficult conditions. These contrasting views influence how societies approach justice, personal accountability, and even education. But how does this debate affect you on a personal level? If you lean toward determinism, you might feel less burdened by guilt or regret, recognizing that many factors were outside your control. However, you might also worry about feeling powerless to change your future. One way to counter this is by focusing on what's known as soft determinism, or compatibilism. This view suggests that while events are influenced by prior causes, we can still exercise agency by understanding and working within those causes. For example, if you know that certain habits are hard to break due to your brain's wiring, you can take proactive steps to rewire those patterns over time. If you lean toward free will, you might feel empowered to take charge of your life. However, there's also a potential downside. You might blame yourself harshly for past mistakes, believing you could have acted differently. One way to balance this perspective is by acknowledging the role of circumstances in shaping your choices. This can help you practice self-compassion while still striving for personal growth. Ultimately, whether you favor determinism, free will, or a mix of both, the key takeaway is to focus on what you can influence. By reflecting on your choices, building better habits, and understanding the factors that shape your behavior, you can create a life that feels more intentional and aligned with your values. So, what do you think? Are your choices truly free, or is your life shaped by forces beyond your control? Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed this exploration, be sure to like, subscribe, and join me for more deep dives into philosophy, science, and the mysteries of existence.